Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I just seen this article on Boxing Scene. I'll probably leave a link to the article in the when this goes to archive in the comment section. And when you catch this, you can go ahead, click it, read it. Come to your own surmise about it. But I'm seeing that it's saying I've seen an interview with Derek Chisora saying that he will be sparring Anthony Joshua next week. David Hayes organizing and setting it up. I guess it's just going to be just some sparring and then he's leaving. All right. Um, Now the thumbnail of this video is Chisora and Jennings, and the reason I put that up, and that's when they were sparring. I got that clip up on my YouTube page. I think IFL had it on their page, and a couple other uploaders had it. But that footage is floating around. You can type it in, Chisora versus Jennings, and the reason I put that as a thumbnail because if you go watch that sparring, that's the type of sparring that Anthony Joshua needs. And I guess Joshua has asked Chisora a few times in the past to help him spar, but he's been too busy or whatever. So they're going to get some sparring in. And I think this is the type of sparring that Anthony Joshua needs. Somebody's going to come in there and test his mettle. Now, if they were to schedule a fight, Chisora versus Joshua, I'll pick Joshua to win in a fight. But this could be good sparring because, sparring you wear heavier gloves. Sometimes they spar with 16 ounces, 18 ounces. You got some headgear. You know what I mean? But you can really get in there and get some good sparring. And the type of sparring that Chisora did with Jennings, that's the type of sparring that Joshua needs. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to be very physical, press him. Chisora doesn't fight like Andrew Ruiz as far as, technically walking forward with the jab and slipping punches, doesn't have the hand speed. But as far as relentlessness and just being dog out aggressive and is not coming in there to play with you, that's what Joshua needs. He needs guys who are going to come in there and is not going to play with him in sparring. All right. And Chisora is not coming in there just to work on things. And it cracks me up sometimes when we converse, just as fans, and we talk about, because I'll always disagree with people that say sparring is just to work on things. Yes, partly it is to work on things, but sparring is also just to go in there and just fight sometimes. I remember reading Joe Frazier's autobiography, and he did not believe in, hey man, I'm gonna invite you to my camp so we can work on things. You're coming to my camp to fight. You better be ready to fight. And according to Joe Frazier, he used to get the best of Ken Norton in camps, and he used to beat the hell out of his sparring partners. That was according to Joe. And back when he was on his run, I can believe it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, sparring isn't always to work on something. Because if you look at that Jennings versus Chisora sparring, it looked like they were working on going to war. You know what I mean? But yes, I get it. Sometimes you want rounds, you want to utilize your jab in these couple rounds against this sparring partner. When a fresh sparring partner jumps in, if this is your camp and you're hosting it, you want to work on cutting off the ring for a few rounds with this guy. But then there's sometimes where you'll try to work on that, but the other guy's trying to take your head off as well. There's classic clips of Mike Tyson, the lead up to, I forget which fight it was, man. Damn, I forget which fight it was, but it was a lead up to one of his fight in the 80s. And they were talking about how it was hard for him to get sparring partners. And when the sparring partners do come in, Rooney was telling those guys, hey, man, be ready to fight. We're not going to work on any. You better just be ready to fight. Whatever you got to do to get this man off you or to hurt him or to back him up, do it. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, though, training camps, you do want to do some detailed work. I get that. But to me, man, and I think it's good to have a variety of different sparring partners. A lot of people, professional fighters, champions, but I just disagree with this method. And some professional fighters agree with my method. But my method is, and Klitschko used to do this in his camps, bring in some of everybody. Even if you are fighting a 6'8" guy on Saturday night, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to bring in all 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys. Nah, man, bring in the 5'11" guy, pressure guy. Bring in a guy that likes to outbox from the outside. Bring in a guy that likes to go to war. Bring in a variety of any and everything, because you don't know really what to expect on fight night. You can watch all the tape you want, go over all the tendencies of your opponent, but he may show up on fight night and just fight out of his skin or just do something crazy. Or what if he gets hurt? What if he fails a test and they have a replacement opponent or something like that? Be ready for any and everything. You know what I mean? Along with, fighting taller guys, getting used to that, but just get ready for any and everything. But this is good sparring for them. Ruiz and Chisora kind of have the same dimensions, as far as height and things like that. And when they get close, they like to bang. Obviously, Chisora is getting ready for his fight against David Price. So again, he has a fight with Price in a couple weeks here. So he's a tall guy like AJ. So it should be good sparring with them, man. But I put that thumbnail up. I know people can come to the video and, oh, it's clickbait. This thought this was Joshua and Chisora sparring. No, the thumbnail is just Chisora and Jennings sparring, and I'm gonna leave a link to that. Cause that if you click on that video, tell me what they're working on. They're working on going to war. You know what I mean? So Joshua has been having some good guys in his camps, man, like Martin Bacole, Otto Wallen. He used Otto Wallen. It's crazy because Otto Wallen wanted to have a good performance against Fury, but he used Otto Wallen in preparations for, damn, was it the Charles Martin fight? I forget, but he had Wallen in a few camps. He's had Ajit Kabayel in some of his camps. You know what I mean? So I think Joshua will get some good quality sparring, but I like this Chisora move, man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be long, y'all. Just wanted to get that out. I actually forgot to talk about this earlier on the live I was on. Let me see what y'all talking about really quick, and I got to jump off, man. I'm actually here to get damn air in my tire, and I'm thinking about boxing. But let me see. Xavier, the boxing nerd, was good, bro. Mike Wilkins was good. What's the deal? Xavier, the boxing nerd, says that's probably part of the reason why Frazier's career was so short. It could be, but as short as it was, he had a lot of success and he was very impactful in his short amount of time. Some guys just have longer longevity than others. Um, you know what I mean? Look at a guy like James Toney. Only thing he did a lot, man, late in James Toney's career, like after he moved up to like to heavyweight, all he did was spar and go to war and spar. That's all he did. I remember Manuel Stewart talking about it, like, man, James really doesn't do road work and all that. He just spars for his conditioning. It's different for different guys, man. You know what I mean? But James can relax a little bit in the ring, where Joe Frazier, his motor wasn't ever on relax. It was always on go. Actually, the go button, he put it on go and then broke the button. You know what I mean? It like never stopped. You know what I mean? That manner that Joe Frazier fought in, I think those guys always have a short career, man, just based on their styles. You know what I mean? Just based on their styles alone, man, they're always going to have a shorter career. Because it's high intense and they're coming forward. Even though Joe would move his head and go to the body, he was like a locomotive in there, man. But yeah. Renique 313, what up though? Detroit in the building. Unbiased heavyweight rankings and news. Go sub to his channel, man. He does a great job as well as keeping up with the heavyweights. George Arias versus undefeated Gabriel Hernandez, October 24th. Who you got? I'm gonna go with George Arias in that fight, man. But I'll do a video on that and let me do a thorough breakdown and go over the styles and everything. But in short, I'm gonna go with George Arias. P Money says facts. I think that is important to get in sparring with all types of styles just to be ready for anything on fight night. Chisora has that pop, but is not as crisp as Ruiz. Yes, he is not as sharp as Ruiz. Crisp is a good word as well, but yeah, he's definitely not as sharp as Ruiz. Technically, working his way in, you can call Ruiz a crude brawler, but he is a polished crude brawler with very good technical, fundamental counterpunching skills. You know what I mean? Count Drago says, how do you see Price versus Chisora? I see Price coming out trying to fight him from range. I see Chisora trying to be relentless and come forward and chopping him with overhands and going to his body first and then try to chop him with overhands, man. I think the first few rounds going to be interesting because Price will be full of energy and full of pop. But you might get a slow-footed Price that fought Kuzman, or you may get the guy that was kind of, when he fought Kamil Sokolowski, when he was kind of on the back foot, looking like almost a watered-down version of Tyson Fury, where he was moving and sticking a jab, and I think Sokolowski won that fight. But I think he needs to sit down on his punches and try to land big. I mean, Chisora's going to be there to be hit. He's not going to, you don't have to go looking for him in the ring. You know what I mean? He's not going to do Pernell Whitaker. He's going to be right there to be hit. So Price will have his opportunities to land uppercuts and big right hands. The problem is when he gets hit. You know what I mean? So I see Chisora chopping him down and getting him out of there somehow, some way. Xavier the Boxer Nerd says, it makes sense that someone like Joe would only fight when sparring. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, I always get into that debate with fans like, no, Mr. Boxing, it's just sparring. They're just working on things. I'm like, well, I guess it depends who you're going to camp with. Could you imagine Marvin Hagler working on things? You know what I mean? I get what you guys are saying. Like, let's work on cutting off the ring for these couple rounds, or let's work on using a jab, or work on taking away my guy's right hand this round. But in all, though, you're going to go in there and get chopped up. You're trying to go in there and nicely work on things. You know what I mean? You're going to be getting fucked up in camp. You know what I mean? But hey, y'all, I just had this on my mind instead of just thinking about it to myself. Hey, man, just go live and talk about it with the fans, man. But I appreciate y'all showing up. But yeah, man, Chisora will be sparring Anthony Joshua. I think it's a good move. Somebody's going to test his mettle. Somebody that's also preparing for a fight in a couple weeks, so he's not there to play around and play games. You know what I mean? Should be fun. Hopefully we probably won't hear anything from the camps, but hey, man, hopefully it was steel was sharp and steel. You know what I mean? But till next time, man, y'all be easy. I'm gone.